Welcome to Newt's World Podcast on the iHeart Podcast Network. Episode 14 of the Greatest American Inventions. Today's invention did not exist until 1998, but it is now so woven into daily life that most people under 40 probably can't imagine a world without it. The Internet search engine. By the mid-1990s, the World Wide Web was growing explosively. Millions of pages, billions of words, and almost no reliable way to find what you were looking for. The search engines of that era, Alta Vista, Excite, Lycos, Yahoo, ranked results largely by keyword frequency. How many times did your search terms appear on a page? The more often, the higher the ranking. The problem was obvious. Websites that wanted to rank highly simply stuffed their pages with keywords. Search for running shoes, and you'd find pages that mentioned running shoes 100 times, regardless of whether they were actually useful. Results were noisy, unreliable, often dominated by spam. Two Stanford PhD students had a better idea. Larry Page became fascinated by a question. What could the structure of web links tell you about the importance of individual pages? His insight was essentially sociological. When a human expert writes about a topic and recommends a resource, they link to it. The more experts link to a given page, the more authoritative it probably is. And links from authoritative pages should count for more than links from random pages. Page and Sergey Brin developed an algorithm they called PageRank, named partly after Page, partly after the concept. They built a search engine, ran it from Stanford servers, consuming so much bandwidth that the network administrators repeatedly asked them to stop. And they incorporated Google Inc. in a Menlo Park garage in September 1998, funded in part by a $100,000 check from Sun co-founder Andy Bechtolsheim, written out to Google Inc. before the company legally existed. The quality difference was immediately apparent. Google returned better results. It was faster. The interface was almost shockingly simple. A white page with a search box. Where competitors cluttered their pages with news, horoscopes, and advertisements, Google asked one thing: what are you looking for? And then it found it. Early on, Google processed about 10,000 searches a day. Today, more than 8.5 billion searches a day. Roughly 92% of all the internet searches on Earth. But Google became something far bigger than a search engine. AdWords, launched in 2000, let businesses place text ads next to relevant search results, paying only when someone clicked. This was precisely targeted advertising, infinitely measurable, accountable to the dollar. Traditional newspaper classified advertising, which had funded local journalism for a century, was eliminated in a decade. The consequences for journalism are still playing out. Google Maps transformed navigation and commerce. YouTube, acquired in 2006 for $1.65 billion, seemingly extraordinary then, modest in retrospect, became the world's largest video platform and its second largest search engine. 1 billion hours of YouTube are watched every day. Android, acquired in 2005, now runs 70% of the world's smartphones. I want to reflect on something I find genuinely important about Google's story. Page and Brin started with a question that was at its core intellectual rather than commercial. Can we use the structure of the web to rank the quality of web pages? They were graduate students trying to solve a computer science problem. The commercial application, the advertising empire, the media giant, the global infrastructure company worth $2 trillion today, emerged from that intellectual starting point. They didn't begin by asking how to build $1 billion business. They began by asking how to find good information. The good information question turned out to be worth $2 trillion. This is a lesson about the relationship between intellectual curiosity and economic value. The most transformative companies often emerge not from someone asking, "What can I sell?" but from someone asking, "What can I understand?" The understanding comes first, the value follows. 2 graduate students, a Stanford garage, a check made out to a company that didn't exist, and 8.5 billion searches a day. That is America. Newt's World is produced by Gingrich 360 and iHeartMedia. Our executive producer is Garnsey Sloan. Our researcher is Rachel Peterson. Special thanks to the team at Gingrich 360. If you've been enjoying Newt's World, I hope you'll go to Apple Podcasts and both rate us with 5 stars and give us a review so others can learn what it's all about. Join me on Substack at Gingrich360.net. I'm Newt Gingrich. This is Newt's World.